The History of Sound trailer, Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor, WW1 romance. What if the most profound love stories aren't just about people, but about the history and music that bind them together? A breathtaking new trailer has just been unveiled for The History of Sound, a film poised to explore this very idea, starring two of the most compelling actors of their generation, Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor. Fresh off their critically acclaimed roles in projects like All of Us Strangers and Challengers, Mescal and O'Connor are teaming up for what looks to be an emotionally resonant period drama. The film is guided by the steady hand of director Oliver Hermanus, known for his sensitive work on the Oscar-nominated film Living. The narrative itself is an adaptation of the celebrated short story collection of the same name by Massachusetts author Ben Shattuck, who also skillfully penned the screenplay. The story transports audiences to the era of World War I, chronicling a deeply moving romance between two men whose lives are intrinsically linked by their passion for music. New England serves as more than just a backdrop. It's a central character in the film. The story begins in 1917, where the two protagonists, Lionel, Mescal, and David, O'Connor, first forge a connection as students at the Boston Conservatory. Lionel is a gifted singer who has journeyed from Kentucky, while David is a promising music composition student. But here's where the story takes a poignant turn. Their budding relationship is soon fractured by the realities of war when David is drafted into service. And this is the part most people miss. The film is not just a wartime romance. It's after the conflict that their shared purpose truly crystallizes. The pair reunites for a transformative journey through the rustic landscapes of rural Maine. Their mission is to travel from town to town, recording and preserving traditional folk songs directly from the local people. This quest to capture the region's oral history for future generations becomes the vessel for their reawakened connection. The History of Sound trailer breakdown. Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor's poetic love story. Imagine a love story so profound, it transcends time and redefines the essence of human connection. Welcome to The History of Sound, a cinematic masterpiece that promises to captivate audiences with its poetic narrative and stellar cast. The first trailer for this highly anticipated film, directed by the acclaimed Oliver Hermanus, has finally been unveiled, and it's clear that viewers are in for a treat. The film stars the Emmy-winning Josh O'Connor, known for his role in The Crown, and Paul Mescal, who stole hearts in Gladiator II. But here's where it gets controversial. Some critics are already drawing comparisons to Brokeback Mountain, but the cast and crew are quick to dismiss these parallels, insisting that The History of Sound is a unique and groundbreaking exploration of love and identity. Let's dive in and explore what makes this film so special. The History of Sound is adapted from Ben Shattuck's Pushcart Prize-winning short story, a tale that revolves around two young men, Lionel and David, played by Mescal and O'Connor, respectively. The film is set in 1917 and follows Lionel, a talented music student, as he meets David at the Boston Conservatory. Their shared love for folk music forms an instant bond, and years later, a letter from David leads Lionel on an impromptu journey through the backwoods of Maine to collect traditional songs. This unexpected reunion and the love affair that ensues will shape Lionel's life in ways he never imagined. And this is the part most people miss. The music they collect and preserve becomes a symbol of their love and a testament to their journey. The film is produced by Q, the team behind Cop Car, and also stars Molly Price, Allison Bartlett, and Chris Cooper. Hermanus, known for his work on Beauty and Moffy, brings his signature poetic style to this adaptation, ensuring that every frame is a work of art. Mescal, who has made his disagreement with the Brokeback Mountain comparisons clear, insists that The History of Sound is a story of love and acceptance, not repression. When I look at Brokeback Mountain, it's dealing with repression, he said in Cannes. This film is pointed in the opposite direction. To be honest, I find those comparisons lazy and frustrating. Hermanus added that the comparison, despite the film's differences, shows that there should be more films about these nuances of queer relationships beyond the context what most movies deal with. Deadline's chief film critic, Pete Hammond, was equally impressed, describing the film as deliberately paced and gorgeously shot by Alexander Dinan. He went on to say, "The history of sound may unfold slowly, but give it a chance and it will wrap you up and take you places movies don't often go these days. This may be Mescal's best work in films yet." The film's distribution rights have been secured, with Mubi taking North America, then Focus Features handling international distribution. Mubi has set the U.S. theatrical release for September 12th, giving audiences plenty of time to mark their calendars. You can watch Deadline's Cannes interview with Mescal and Hermanus to get a deeper insight into the making of this cinematic gem. But let's not forget the elephant in the room. Why do some critics insist on comparing the history of sound to Brokeback Mountain? Is it because they struggle to see beyond the surface-level similarities, or is there a deeper issue at play? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the history of sound will live up to the hype, or is it just another attempt to cash in on the queer romance genre? Let the debate begin. The History of Sound, 2025. Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor's romantic drama, trailer and film details. Imagine diving into a world where the melodies of the past intertwine with the echoes of love. That's precisely what the History of Sound offers. A cinematic journey that not only explores the rich tapestry of folk music, but also delves into the profound connection between two men. Paul Mescal, known for his brooding charm in films like Aftersun and Normal People, reprises his role as a heartthrob, this time alongside the equally captivating Josh O'Connor, who has mesmerized audiences in The Crown and La Chimera. But here's where it gets controversial. Can a film about folk music and love truly capture the essence of both without falling into sentimentality? And this is the part most people miss. The film isn't just a love story. It's a historical odyssey that celebrates the preservation of traditional songs. The History of Sound, adapted from Ben Shattuck's short story, follows Lionel and David, two folk music enthusiasts who meet at the Boston Conservatory in 1917. After the tumult of World War I, they reunite in 1920 to embark on a musical journey through Maine, collecting and safeguarding traditional folk songs while also discovering their own deep emotional connection. This period piece, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival earlier this year, has been hailed as quietly epic and a masterclass in tender restraint by Elle's critics. So, who stars in this musical odyssey? Alongside Mescal and O'Connor, the film features Molly Price, Allison Bartlett, and Chris Cooper, though the spotlight primarily shines on the dynamic duo of Mescal and O'Connor. Who's behind the camera? Director Oliver Hermanus, known for his work on Living, helms the film, with cinematography by Alexander Dinan, their screenplay penned by Shattuck himself. When can audiences catch this musical gem? After its Cannes debut, Mubi acquired North American distribution rights, while Focus Features took on international distribution. In the U.S., The History of Sound will grace theaters on September 12, 2025, with a likely Mubi streaming release to follow. Is there a trailer? Indeed, and it's a treat for the ears as well as the eyes, featuring both O'Connor and Mescal singing traditional folk tunes. It's worth the price of admission just to hear more. This story will be updated as more details emerge. But what do you think? Can a film about folk music and love truly capture the essence of both without falling into sentimentality? Share your thoughts in the comments.